So hi, it's Ben here, Mirror Fighting. Delighted to be joined by Campbell Hatton. Campbell, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Good, ready to go now. It's the boring bit, waiting for the night.
Yeah. So obviously it's another kind of good step for yourself fighting on the Liverpool card. Obviously you've fought on some massive shows. You've been kind of all around the country, all around the globe even. How excited are you for this one?
Yeah, really excited. It's a lot more close to home than the last show out in Abu Dhabi, but it is to say I'm coming up to my 10th pro fight. I've done some venues like there's been Tottenham, the O2, Manchester, Abu Dhabi, Bilbao, Gibraltar, and now coming up to Liverpool. It's been a it's been great experience for me, and I think if I get to the level that we're expecting, uh, all 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 this is just going to stand me in good stead.
Yeah. So obviously in the last couple, I think it's like three of your last five by stoppage now. It looks like you're really kind of starting to get your rhythm and kind of box quite well. Is that kind of is do you feel like the pressure's starting to come off you and you're starting to kind of find your feet now?
Yeah, yeah, it is. Me and Matthew was talking about this, funnily enough, and it's been like it was clear that early on, I think I was probably struggling with getting used to having the pressure on me and the spotlight I was under, and it made me a little bit too eager to please. And I think it took that night at Tottenham where it was just really obvious that it got to me that night, and I've had sort of partially it'll be down to just having more ring experience, and that'll just slowly be helping me get used to it. But the main thing's been a change of mindset where Matthew was he's a good person to have in my corner because he's been in that position where he was boxing in my dad's shadow and was getting the same sort of comparisons and um, like criticism because he was learning on the job in a similar way that I am, and was constantly getting compared to my dad. And he said his career really took off when he said to himself, "I'm sick of coming away from my fights where I'm winning, but still getting criticised and compared to my dad. He's just going to prepare to the best of his ability, come away from the fight knowing that he's give it absolutely everything he can, and what will be will be." And I've sort of tried adopting that same mindset, and that's where I think I've improved with every fight since that Tottenham one. We went away to Bilbao. There was no real pressure on me there, and I could just concentrate on me. And that's just what I've maintained now from that fight onwards. And I think you can see that I'm settling into my own career and my own style, and slowly but surely moving away from the Ricky Hatton something. And people are starting to recognise that A, I'm a work in progress, and it's going to take time, and B, that they're recognising me as my own fighter a bit more and not making the comparisons.
Yeah. So obviously you're it's important to kind of tread your own footsteps. What is your plan for 2023? Is there kind of are you looking for maybe central area, that kind of level by the end of the year if you can? Is that kind of the plan?
Well, the main thing for me is getting. I think this will be my last six rounder, so then I'd like a few eights, but then a title of some sort. I'd leave that to the team to decide what steps they want to take at what times. But I think a title of some sort by the end of this year, possibly the start of next, is well within my reach, and that's what I'm eyeing up. But Matthew's always on at me saying, like, you're 22, you got loads of time, there's no rush. So um, I've just got full faith in Matt, my dad, 258, Matchroom, and everyone else. So I'll just leave it to them and just do as I'm told, really.
Yeah. So just kind of one last one on that. Obviously, you just said there you're 22. Do you find it quite like incredible? Obviously, the spotlight on you at 22, given like maybe it wouldn't have been like this kind of before COVID, with obviously kind of the big delay and everything.
Yes, it is. It's crazy, really. And I think with it's not as much anymore. I think I'm starting to turn the public opinion a little bit from a few of my early fights, but the stick I was getting, when you think about it, it's crazy. Like they were saying, "Oh, he won't do this, he won't do that, he won't be as good as his dad." And like I was 20 when I made my debut. Like I've got 10 years plus to improve before I'm at my absolute best. So no one has a clue. I'm going to improve massively. I've got loads of time, so um, it just gives me a lot of confidence because I know what we're seeing in the gym, and it's just a matter of time from transferring it from the gym to on the night. And I think I've already started to show that a little bit. But I think this weekend, this camp especially, the pennies dropped a lot, and we're a lot more polished technically, and we've been able to work on things that I wouldn't normally get the chance to because we've been at it for so long. So I think we're going to see a big step up this time in performance, and the opponent's going to be better as well, which I think will bring the best out of me.
Yeah. Obviously, kind of, you're talking about kind of leaping out the shadow of your dad, but also it's kind of equally important to have him kind of in your corner with his experience and everything. Kind of how great has it been to kind of train alongside him with him back in, obviously, he looks in great shape and everything at the moment.
Yeah, it's been great. We even managed to do bits of sparring just before his exhibition, which was a mad experience, really. Like, I think every lad wants to try and give his dad a crack, but not everyone gets the chance. But um, forgetting that it was a nice family moment or experience, like for us to be able to do that together. I was getting the opportunity to spar a former two-weight world champion, and that sort of goes under the radar a little bit because people just think it's a nice little talking point. But like the rounds we got, they weren't a step back from either of us, and we give it us. It weren't a move around, and uh, some of the experiences and the knowledge I picked up in them spars are priceless. It's all just building. I'm like a sponge at the minute. We're getting top sparring. Like I sparred Ritson the other week, who obviously he lost the other day, but he's boxed at a top level, and getting great sparring and working with Matthew, who's been there and done it. So it's just constantly absorbing like experience of people.
Yeah. Just a quick one on him. Do you think we'll see him back in the ring? Obviously, there's a bit of talk about Floyd Mayweather, kind of that being a potential. Do you think we'll see him again, or do you think that might be kind of curtains on that now?
I'd like to think he's satisfied with the one he had. I think the way they did the Barrera fight, it was perfect. They was evenly matched. They'd both been out the ring for like a similar amount of time, and they had that respect for each other where they weren't trying to take each other out. It was an exhibition, and I think as much as I do think my dad would be well capable of getting in there with Mayweather, and they'd both be in great shape and do really well. I just don't think there'd be anything friendly about it. I don't think they've got that same respect for each other, and I think it'd end up being a proper fight, really. And I don't want to see my dad in proper fights at this stage. Like he's shown that he's well capable. I was really impressed with how him and Marco performed in the exhibition, but I think he knows himself. He doesn't want to go down that road anymore. So if he was to have another exhibition, I'd want it to be similar lines to the one he's just had, not a tear up with no winner.
Yeah. So, last couple from me, Campbell. Thank you for your time. Obviously, I just wanted to come back to you kind of. You saw Tommy Fury kind of go into that influencer world, whereas you're paving your way in the traditional boxing route. Kind of, is that something that you want to keep sticking to? You're not drawn into this whole new world of kind of influencer boxing and stuff.
No, I'm not. That's not the road I see myself going down at all. I think I've since being young, I've done it. I didn't have lots of amateur fights, but I was I was still boxing in the working men's clubs, and I think I've done it a little bit more of a traditional way. And I'm confident. I've got the time on my side, the ability, the natural ability, and the work ethic to get to the top level eventually. that's the way I see myself going, and my that's where I see my finish line. But I don't blame Tommy for going down that road. Like, you've got to play the cards you dealt, and if he's getting offered that, like, if someone wants to throw a few million at me to fight someone who's never boxed, they can do. Go for it. But I don't blame him. But that isn't what I'm interested in. I want to. I want to be a boxing champion, not a influencer boxing type of name. So fair play to him, but no, it's not for me.
Yeah. So obviously as well, you're in a great division. Lightweight's like brilliant. There's so many great fighters. Obviously, we've just seen Davis Garcia confirmed. How good is that for you to see these fights, these big fights being made in your division? Obviously, when in a few years' time you'll be looking to be up there yourself.
Yeah, it's great. Like I say, my future's looking like lightweight, light welter, and both of them divisions are flying. Really, there's some top names, so it gives you a lot of confidence that there's big nights to be had down the line. And as I've said, I'm not deluded. I'm a long way off that yet, but it's I've got that time. I'm 22, and I've got a work ethic that no one's topping. So, like I said, I'll get there if it takes me 10 years. I don't think it will take as long as that, but I've got that amount of time on my side, so it gives me a lot of. I'm just excited for the future and take each one as it comes at the minute, though.
Yeah. So obviously, just quickly on that, obviously Davis, I think he tweeted at you. Was it last year, wasn't it? How big of a fight kind of that would be if that kind of materialised in the future?
Yeah, I must be doing something right if he even knows my name. But the let's say the top fighters, and like I don't get why he's calling me out. Just boxed on before the bell on YouTube, like what, and he's eyeing up these mega fights in the division. So I think it shows where his mindset is really, where there's these big challenges, and he's trying to call me, well, not call me out, but have a pop at me. But yeah, top fighter, and you never know down the line. It'll sound silly to people now, but just give me time.
Yeah. And just the last quick one from me. Obviously, that fight with Ryan Garcia. How do you see that going?
I would like Garcia to chin him really, but I don't think he will. I think it'll be a good fight, and I think Garcia, he's dangerous. He's got that power as we've seen, but I just think he's had a little bit of time out where he's not been the most active of late, and that chin is quite high in the air. So I think that a big bomb from Davis could could put him out, because
Yeah.
Luke Campbell managed to catch him, and I think Luke's a top fighter, but I don't think he hits as hard as Davis does. So it's exciting regardless, with both big punchers.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, Campbell, and good luck, obviously, for this weekend.
Nice one, mate.
Cheers. Thanks.